Hi everybody, welcome to my art channel. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying the start of the summer. Last week I released my finished sketchbook video. I was very happy I got that done. And it was time to buy another sketchbook. And this time I chose a slightly smaller sketchbook, but with mixed media quality paper, so it can handle watercolors and alcohol markers. Right now, you are watching the first illustration in this sketchbook. And so far, it's true, it didn't bleed through to the second page, although I used watercolors for the girl's hair. The page didn't warp at all, and it absorbed all that water just fine. I bought this sketchbook at Walmart in the crafts making section. It's inexpensive, but so far, it hasn't disappointed. A couple of years back, for my birthday, my husband bought me a steampunk-inspired or antique-inspired dip ink set from Amazon. It has several ink dip pens. In this illustration, I am using the glass one. The set also has a really gorgeous feather dipped pen. I tested these out, but I've never used them to illustrate, so for this illustration, I really wanted to try using it. The ink I used was waterproof. It behaved very well, very little smearing. But because I didn't practice my lines using the dip pen so that I would remember and recall better inking techniques, the hair on this girl illustration came out awful. I didn't like it at all. What I should have done was rotate the page to get, smooth, curvy lines when I was inking her hair so that they would be more flowy and less jaggedy, and I really didn't like what I did with the hair. But I didn't do that, and that was my mistake. So I was kind of wrestling with myself to either toss this drawing altogether and start all over, or find a way to distract from my mistake. I was trying to think of a way to salvage it. So what I decided to do was paint the entire hair mass in this really rich saturated black color. And then once it dried, I used Prisma colored pencils. I think I used purple and yellow to add highlights and more structure to the bangs and the entire updo. I also grabbed some Posca large markers, and then I added these weird hatches and dots of color and thick highlights to make the hair volume more interesting and to add more interest to it and to distract from the mistake I made. And I gotta tell you, the Posca markers saved this illustration. I am very impressed how vivid the colors are on top of this dark, rich black. I also used alcohol markers for some of the shading. And then finally, I used glitter markers right at the very end. But I gotta say, the dip ink pen held and released the ink very well. So no ink drops, not even one. I was anticipating one, but that never happened. I was very happy. This week's illustration was inspired by my toy poodle, Minnie. She's been in a very snuggly mood lately, and we're finally starting to see her personality. We have baby goats that come to graze in our front yard. They come from our neighbors. These baby goats manage to sneak through their gates, and then they come over and they graze. But when Minnie sees them through the large window in the living room, oh my goodness, she gets barking and she's so offended that they're on her property. She's definitely a busybody. She gets really noisy. She gets into everybody's business and she's so bossy. And if my other two dogs start to play too loudly or too energetically, as they're tugging their toy back and forth and they start to growl a little bit and play, she tells them to knock it off. She definitely fits the poem, "Girls are made of sugar and spice," and she has extra spice. Well, this has been a longer chat than I intended. I hope I didn't bore you guys. Thank you for visiting, and I hope you get a chance to draw or even just color to unwind this weekend when it's just too hot to be outside. I hope to see you next week for another illustration. Take care. Okay, bye.